Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a motorcycle racing TV show, Team Chicago Challenge. My email is teamdan45@gmail.com. My website is teamchicago.tv. Well, we gotta once in a while go back to the past. We're going all the way to the beginning. So you gotta understand, I got into public access television in 1986. The first 50 shows I produced was interviewing Republican candidates in the Chicago area, because in Chicago the local media never interviewed any Republicans. So I took care of that, and my show was called The Other Side, the other political side. Then my good friend Bill Wildt, it was getting to be tough getting these candidates together. Bill Wildt produced a show called Motorsports Unlimited. He convinced me that I should just start shooting motorcycle racing, because I was still racing motorcycles. So there was a race in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, half-mile race. There was the Amateur National on Saturday. The Carol West Weber professional race was on Sunday. I went up there. This video is a little rough. Some of the audio is a little tough. I'm going to try to fix some of the audio. But there was at least I captured some great racing. I think some of the footage is really good. And this is the first motorcycle show I have done now. 1,700, and this will be 1,797 shows. So I'm very proud of what I've done. I'm very happy to do this. I have great fun. I got to race great motorcycles. I got to race great racetracks. So I think you're going to enjoy this first motorcycle show that I ever produced. And don't forget my email. teamdan45@gmail.com, and I always love to hear from my audience.
This first race is the 500 class. Moving out front, Larry Graham, all the way from Baltimore, Maryland, to take on the challenges of this half-mile racetrack located 5 miles north of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Chasing Larry around is Steve Beatty from Burlington, Ontario, Canada. 500 class at this Amateur National Championship. Top riders in the nation came to Elkhorn today. Number 9, Don Herring. And here we go, little 50 class. These are the little kids, under 9 years old. Got a battle going on up front. Leading, Tracy Honeck from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Tracy has the red helmet. This is Tracy in first place, being chased by Brad from Wadsworth, Illinois. 50 class. These are automatic transmission, 50cc motorcycles. Got a tight battle going on. Got 11 riders battling out. Here we come. Last lap. Last lap. We got Brad moving on the inside. Tracy on the outside. Brad with the blue helmet. Brad Fremont from Wadsworth, Illinois. Sponsored by Torque Center, New Berlin, Wisconsin. Tracy tucking in. Last chance. Last corner. There goes Brad picking up the win. Tracy, she gives him the thumbs up sign. Quick little rider. This is the beginning of the senior class. 8 laps. Go fast motorcycle. motorcycle racing. Most of these guys are on 750s and 600 four-stroke powerful motorcycles. Shooting it out for the Amateur National at Elkhorn, Wisconsin, Wadsworth County Fairgrounds. Up front, Mr. Schmitt from Metamora, Michigan, on a Harley Davidson. Second place, Glenn Neat, Bradford, Ontario, Canada. Third place, Jack Fleece, Lansing, Michigan. And fourth place, Don Herring, Dandy Don Herring from Round Lake Beach. Coming around, lap number 2. Mr. Schmitt is still up front on that Harley Davidson. Battle going on for second, third, and fourth between Glenn Neese, Jack Fleece, and Don Herring. Watch the battle. This is for all the gold, but all these boys are on 500s and 600cc motorcycles. They just don't have the horsepower to catch that Harley Davidson. The Harley Davidson of Mr. Schmitt from Metamora, Michigan. Harley Davidson, that's number 25. Battle rages on. Second, third, and fourth place. It's like Don Herring's falling off the pace a little bit. Dandy Don Herring trying to make up. Here comes that Harley Davidson again. Harley Davidson up front, number 25, ridden by Mr. Schmitt out of Michigan. Shooting it out in the senior class. Senior class is for riders between 30 and 40 years old. Amateur National Championship, AMA Amateur National. Another lap coming up. Here comes that Harley. Listen to it sing through the corners. Most perfect motorcycle for half-mile racing. Harley Davidson, American made. Being chased around by them race burners. Honda second, Honda third, Yamaha fourth. Harley Davidson walking away with this. Dandy Don Herring trying to make up. Here comes Don Herring. Through 1 and 2, trying to make up the difference. Don Herring trying to catch second and third. It's near Harley Davidson. That's it. Don Herring did not make up the difference. Don Herring from Round Lake Beach. Finishing fourth. Here we got the beginning of the open class. Open any size, any age. Up front again, Harley Davidson mounted. Mike Hale from Carrollton, Texas. Oop. Yellow flag out. There's a rider down next to the camera. Rider down. How are they going to stop this race? Can Mike Hale win it? Mike Hale coming in the first corner, 70 miles an hour. Still leading, second place, Todd Severson. Mike Hale from Carrollton, Texas on a Harley Davidson. Jumping out on the restart. Mike Hale from Carrollton, Texas, Harley Davidson mounted in this open class amateur national championship race at beautiful Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Watch him now. Todd Severson running fourth, making moves. Gonna move on up. Right now, first place, Mike Hale, Carrollton, Texas. Here comes Mike. Harley Davidson, listen to that thing. To turn 3 and 4. Mike Hale, Carrollton, Texas. Senior class. This is the senior class. These are for riders over 40 years old. John Warner from Millington, Michigan, jumping up front, moving out. Second place, Dan Crawford. This is some of the action that we seen Saturday, July 11th, at beautiful Elkhorn at the AMA Amateur National. Now, the next day, as we catch a glimpse of Ray Smith from Chicago Cycle, before we're going to switch to Sunday for the Carol West Weber Classic, and we're going to talk to one of the fans.
You go out, you come out here, you got people on the overpasses waving to you. It's all for a good cause. it's just a real good deal all the way around for everybody. And I'll tell you what, I would recommend this to anybody. I don't care what they ride. They ride any type of motorcycle at all. It's a good deal.
This afternoon, you're going to see the cream of the Middle West on the world's most powerful motorcycles. Spine-tingling rides by the world's greatest sportsmen. More thing than airplane stunts or any other spectacular sport. Say, hi-ho, my name is Joe. I come to tell you about our show. We have some racers from far and near who make you stand right up and cheer. I'm going to tell you who they are, how they ride, and how they star, what they wear, and how they look. Just jot their names down in your book. They're John and Joe and Jim and Jake. Why, better racers they don't make. The track is fast. The racers too. Each one wears an iron shoe. From a standing start they roar away. Each one bound he'll win today. Watch 'em. Broad slide round those turns. Smell a rubber when it burns. Each machine is tuned to perfection. Stay back from the fence for your own protection. A grander group you'll never meet. During the race, please stay in your seat. Stay off the track while the race is on, or they'll take you home in a basket, son. Anything can happen once we begin, and we're going to begin the races this afternoon with the National Anthem.
This is it. Start the first expert heat race. By the way, that poem you heard was by Wisconsin's own Joe Campbell for the last 25 years. #1 announcer in Wisconsin. I've heard that poem for many, many years. Now let's watch the start. First expert heat. Jumping out front. Bill Hoffmeister. All the way down from Minnesota, but moving on the outside, #9, Jay Springsteen. Jay drove all night to be here, all the way from Delaware, the national championship.
Jay told me he came all this way because he loves to race Elkhorn, a beautiful cushioned track. Uh-oh, like Jay's got a problem with his XR 750 Harley. 1 lap to go. Looks like Billy Hoffmeister from Minnesota is going to grab first place. Second place is going to Mark Gruber from Zion, Illinois. Jay Springsteen will have to run in the semi.
And now to start the second heat. Number 93 is Greg Wagonek. Number 94, Rick Gruber. Rick Gruber from Waukegan, Illinois. Here comes Greg Wagonek, Freeport, Illinois, taking the win. Ride with that spectacular style today. Elkhorn. Greg Wagonek, Freeport, one of the up-and-coming superstars of motorcycle half-mile racing across the country. Third heat, number 2, George Stavanik. Number 3, number 56, Dave Fergestad. Number 58, Dave Durrell. Here they go. Light turns green and off they go. First corner. Jumping up front. Number 58, Dave Durrell. Second place, Dave Fergusson. Dave Durrell, Harley Davidson mounted. This third heat race, Elkhorn. Dave Durrell. Nice, smooth, hard charging style. Dave Durrell, still out front. George Stavanik, number 2. On a 500cc motorcycle, just isn't cutting it. Running back in last place. But this is the style. Dave Durrell, winner of the third heat, and I might add, also winner of the final event. Dave Durrell, this is the style. Watch him as he circulates this half-mile dirt track. Dave Durrell, winner of the Carroll West Weber Classic at Elkhorn. Getting the checkered flag. Dave Durrell, hard charging, number 58. Picking up the win in this heat race. And fourth and final heat race. Number 8, Kevin Kwiatkowski. Number 15, Steve Champagne. Number 47, Marty Bushman, one of the greats from Michigan. And number 51, Steve Cranston. Green light. Jumping out on the outside. Number 47, Marty Bushman. One of the Michigan Mafia. Go fast. Hot shoes out of the state of Michigan. I'm trying to finish. Marty Bushman been around many, many half miles. Fourth expert heat. This hot summer, July 12th day, temperatures in the 90s. The temperature's not bothering Marty Bushman as he leads this race ahead of Steve Champion. Third place, Steve Cranston, and fourth place, Kevin Kwiatkowski. But nobody's coming close to Marty Bushman. Fourth expert heat. Taking the white flag, 1 lap to go. This smooth style, out on the cushion, the outside, into the loose dirt, and that back wheel spinning. Steve Cranston trying to move up in the second. But Steve Cambine is not letting him at it. Coming around, checkered flag, getting the win in the fourth expert heat, Marty Bushman. Wearing the hot shoes and the hot half mile. Now after these 4 heats, we take a break, get a cool drink. We're going around back. We're going to talk to someone with an interesting collection of motorcycles.
I'm John Carr from Madison, Wisconsin. I brought part of my collection of old racing motorcycles down here today, and I'm also signing in the old-timers, the former racers that have showed up here today to watch the races and participate and maybe take a parade lap or something a little later on. The first bike in my collection, part of the collection I've brought along today, is a 1961 BSA Gold Star Catalina Scrambler. This was built by BSA to contest the 500cc Scrambles class, and particularly unique about this very motorcycle is the fact that it's never been restored. It's a perfect example of the way that the factory put it out. It's been used, it's definitely been used, but it's very well cared for and is correct in every way, which is very, very important if you want a restored or antique motorcycle, is to have it exactly as the factory put it out. The next bike along the line is the former factory-sponsored Triumph TT bike of Gary Scott. When Gary Scott parted from the Harley-Davidson factory and set up his own team, he set up various motorcycles to run different classes. And for TTs, Gary chose the Triumph. And again, this is a factory-sponsored effort. This motorcycle was written up many, many times in many newspapers and magazines as the factory triumph that is once again pulled out from the corner and dusted off and proceeds to go out and dust off the competition. And many, many things were said about this bike, and it was, without question, the last competitive triumph on the national dirt track scene. Has won many, many races, and as the papers say, has paid for itself many, many times over. Gary rode this. It's a 1983 Peoria TT National, and I bought it immediately after that. The bike is exactly the same as it came off the TT trap, except for the front brake has been removed, and I rode it 1 or 2 times myself just with the front brake off of it as a flat tracker, but it's exactly as Gary had it. The next bike in my collection is one that's very, very special to me. It's the Harley-Davidson 250cc Sprint that I rode myself as a novice professional in the 1965-66 dirt track championship races. I was a novice at that point in time, and I won the Wisconsin-Illinois half-mile dirt track point championship in 1965. In 1967, I put a new engine in it, and I continued to race the bike on short tracks throughout my expert season. I kept the bike for all these years. It's never been out of my possession, and about 2 years ago I restored it, and I've won many, many races on this bike, including several times here at Elkhorn. And it's a real special part of my collection. It lives in my office. Most of the rest of these bikes live in my rec room. I have a very unusual rec room. The next bike in the line is also one of my favorites. It's a 1956 BSA Gold Star. Again, it's a flat track racer, and if you'll notice, it's a rigid frame, no brakes on the earlier flat track bikes. They never used brakes until around 1971 or 72. We also did not use shocks until about that same era. And so this bike, as well as the Harley Sprint that we looked at last, have no brakes or no shocks on them. This bike was one of the original machines owned and built by Bob Hansen, formerly of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and competed in many, many national races throughout the entire United States and over a many, many season span. This particular bike's claim to fame during the 1957 season, the bike ridden by Jim Kaplinski won many, many of the junior class nationals throughout the United States. Famous riders after that point in time, Ralph White, Dan Hobby, Eddie Clifford, many of those famous people rode Bob Hansen's bikes. Bob had several motorcycles, and they were all painted identical, so to distinguish one from the other, who was riding what, was often very, very difficult, and only Bob Hansen knew. This is only a portion of my collection. I have some 20 motorcycles, many of them collectibles, and some of them are in a state of resurrection at this point in time. Some of them are completed, and one day we'll have them all put together in a building so everybody can see them.
Racing action, Junior Final, Elkhorn. This is for the bucks. This is for the money. Front row, 42P Tim Farrell, 41P Dave Camlin, 84K Jim Sumner is 84P. Mark Hudson. Let's watch this start. Timmy Farrell out of Oak Park, Illinois, in the middle of the front row. Let's listen to Joe Campbell, from the #1 announcer in Wisconsin, call this race.
42 up there in front. We got number 41, Dave Camlin, as he passed here, was in second. Mark Hudson was in third. See if they can hold on to that now as they come down the stretch. Here they come.
Farrell, Oak Park, Illinois. Second place, Dave Campbell. Third place, Jim Sumners. Fourth place, Mark Hudson. Timmy Farrell, sponsored by Illinois Harley Davidson, picks up the win in his junior final.
Was my good friend Tim Farrell picking up the win as he takes the checkered flag. The lettering on the screen is to promote the next races. And we should point out that Bill Wildt provided me with the footage from the start-finish line for this race, and the lovely ladies from Motorsports were there to present the trophy to Tim Farrell. And let me also add that the promoter of this event, the Carol West Weber Classic, was the late great Betzel Smith, a good friend of mine also. To contact me, and I always love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum there in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip, a great collection of motorcycles, and you can buy your Harley Davidsons and Yamahas at Kirstein Cycle Sales. And to pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package, go to Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois, but give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. Pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package. And if you want to learn everything there is to know about motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a swap meet. Here's a few dates for Walnut Swap: Shepherdsville, Kentucky; Woodstock, Illinois, April 26th. And I will be there. Stop by and say hello. Princeton, Illinois, and Monroe, Michigan. Remember, walnutswap.com, walnutswap.com.